Alright, bear with me here. Believe it or not, there are actually spoilers for Xenoblade 3 in this video. I know, it's crazy, right? But it's the truth. It pretty much goes without saying that the most important characters in a JRPG are gonna be the main party members, because you're stuck with them for upwards of 100 or so hours in many cases. Which is why it's always a risk when the writers make a character who is in some ways unorthodox, because if the game has a particularly slow start coupled with the inclusion of a character who can at some times come off as annoying, who you just have to learn to love, you can definitely see how someone can be dissuaded from that game. It's a careful and tedious process crafting an interesting character, in some ways like the Demon Core thing. You mess up slightly, and it's catastrophic. But when it comes to the main characters in Xenoblade 3, they did a damn good job, debatably the best job so far in terms of this series. And today, I would like to look at one of the 3 pairs of individuals that make up the main party, and that pair, I don't know why I feel the need to say this out loud on the account of it being in the main title, but I will nonetheless. Today, I would like to talk about why I like Lanz Sena. Alright, allow me to fly through the basics as fast as I can talk. At the start of the story, Lanz and Sena fill the role of right-hand man towards their respective team captain. Though they do this in different ways, the two of them function as the muscle of the group and are integral to even the simplest of bouts. Noah doesn't have the stats to fight a single enemy by himself, at least on hard mode, so Lanz takes the beating for him because masochism, I guess. And Mio can't deal enough damage without Sena stepping up to the plate and, you know. After the party converge and merge into Mega Party, now with less Mwamba, the two of them continue to serve the same purpose, now shining the brightest depending on the situation as to make way for the other members of the party with the same class to also shine depending on the situation. Lanz serves the best in large crowds due to his multiple aggro drawing abilities, including his AoE taunt, while letting Mio, the other tank, focus singular enemies with their glowing ability, which forces one target to lock onto her, meaning that in a setup like this, Lanz would be best drawing the group of 4 before using his guard turret move, while Mio slices up the big boss, avoiding all their attacks. But Lanz isn't completely irrelevant in battles against singular foes, as he is obviously a suitable backup tank, and he is the only member of the base party with default gear that has the ability to topple the enemy. Sena is the powerhouse of the group, boasting the highest raw damage with her base stats, while Noah, who is also an attacker, is more well-rounded, having more dexterity and a higher critical hit chance, but less attack damage. Since Noah is the main character in the game, as well as the unofficial party leader, he's more balanced overall in non-attack stats as well. He's less likely to go down compared to Sena, and is also the starter of every combo, as he's the one who breaks the enemy, where Sena has the ability to launch the enemy, meaning she's more of a closer when it comes to combos. To put it simply, if high-stakes hard work needs doing, these two have got the grit. And them's the basics. Whew, I feel lightheaded. When it comes to their character progression throughout the story, they are certainly the most similar to one another compared to other pairs in the main party. The two of them both have very loud and proud personalities, as they feel as if they need to be the confident ones to step up in every situation. You can see this in cutscenes with Lanz's tough guy act when the party first meet, and Sena's boasting about her muscles when they all start introducing themselves. You can also see this in their battle lines whenever you pick a fight and hear Lanz boom. "Come here, I got something for ya!" And the now classic Sena line, "I dare not say," and just play.
"I'm the girl with the gall."
They're both brimming with confidence and have a lot in common, which is why they seem to hit it off best with one another compared to other pairs, where Noah and Mio seem cautious to befriend their enemy, and Uni and Taion just straight up beefing.
Someone shoot me.
But as the story progresses, we learn how they truly feel deep down. They're actually terrified because they live in a world in constant war, and they're fighting against who are essentially the owners of said world, who can turn into huge fucking purple demons with an extremely intimidating battle theme. That's right, the takeaway from their story arcs is that extroverts are a sham and are as equally as terrified as everyone else. Next time you see one, start casually talking about how you can smell their breath and see how quickly their facade falls apart. Lanz and Sena definitely have the best use of one of the more interesting side effects of the interlink that is only explored lightly in other characters. I'm talking about how both individuals share their memories with one another upon interlinking for the first time. This plot device is mainly used to clue other members into the importance of another character's arrival. For instance, when Yorin pops up as Mobius, the Agnians recognize him from their partner's memories, and hence know he should be dead, meaning they can also express their shock of his reappearance. The sharing of memories and emotions between characters can be a really neat way to develop a bond, which is why it's honestly kind of disappointing they didn't do it a bit more often, because when they did do it with Lanz and Sena, it was brilliant. You can see this as the team runs away after battling in Kevez's castle. Sena seems a bit down because she feels like she's not fully pulling her weight, but completely lies to Lanz when he tries to talk to her about it, which he then hits her with the "I see straight through your lies" trick, as he mentions her memories from her days in training where she was always the odd one out and how she still feels that way. The entire interaction doesn't have too happy of a tone. I mean, it was right after a big battle after all, but because of that scene and more scenes after it, further building on Sena's confidence issues, it's all the more of a great moment when the two of them finally talk things through in the prison. Lanz reveals he's just the same as almost his entire personalities and act, but that's no reason to feel sorry for himself as he wants to be strong. His imperfections simply mean he's got room to grow. It's really easy to say, why would I be true to myself if myself is weak? And that is exactly what Sena did, but Lanz showed her she didn't need to do that. If her true self is weak, she should make herself stronger. And she bettered herself because of that. A coward hiding behind a lie wouldn't have the guts to say, put your best foot forward and be prepared to make the hard decisions when the times get tough. Their progression throughout the story was just them getting stronger, because stronger is all they ever needed to be to prevail. Ironic, all they needed was an obscene amount of gall. That's all I have to say. See you around. Unless I don't. Bye-bye.